Welcome to something to talk about.
Hi, welcome to something to talk about. My name is Taco, and we got a character from the north for you. We got one of the Song of Ice and Fire characters, and we're talking Benfred Tallhart, the Wild Hares. Let me look really quick. Yeah, I had to see who requested it. I knew it. I just didn't want to screw up. I've screwed up before. This is a request from Movie Fan like a year and a half ago. I don't even know if Movie Fan's still watching. Movie Fan, you still watching? I see you. I don't know if you still are. I haven't seen your comments in a while. Maybe you're not. This is what's going on. My name is Taco. Pause this, read this. Definitely some spoilers. Yo. And yeah, dude, I'm excited. This is a really good character. And I'll talk about that afterwards. But do you just want me to keep rambling, or let's just get into it. All right, so starting with Benfred Tallhart. I don't know why I said starting. I had to pause it and do something really quick. Benfred Tallhart is the eldest son and heir of Ser Helman Tallhart, the head of House Tallhart. He has a younger sister, Edra Tallhart, and an uncle, Leobald Tallhart, which we'll talk about. We got some Leobold in here, and two cousins, Brandon and Baron, who I think are Leobold's kids. Yeah. Benfred is tall, noisy, and abrupt. Me too. He is described as big, bluff, loud boy. Hey, me too. With thick neck. Maybe that one I don't have. No, I got like a normal neck. It's not one of those like, you see those guys who like their shoulders go right into their ears. I'm not talking crap. Like, that's cool. You probably lift weights and stuff. I don't. Probably do something with that neck. That came out weird. Benfred frequently visited Winterfell with his father, Ser Helman, and was friendly with Robb Stark and Theone Greyjoy. Oh no! During these visits, when visiting Torrhen Square with Eddard Stark, Theone Greyjoy used to mock Benfred for his thick neck and see how angry he could make Benfred. Don't worry, that comes up later. All right, jumping right over to House Tallhart. House Tallhart of Torrhen Square is a noble house from the north and is among the principal houses sworn to House Stark. Their words are proud and free, according to the Citadel, so it's like non-canon words, but still some pretty good ones. Ser Helman Tallhart is the master at Torrhen Square, which is located in southwest of Winterfell. Torrhen Square has stone walls 30 feet high with square towers at each corner. Its square keep is considered strong. We'll see. So yeah, I hope you guys are excited as I am. I actually really like talking about smaller northern houses. And if you're wondering if Torrhen Square is on my list, not yet. Let me know. Or my list of locations. I don't think there's any art for Torrhen Square. Maybe that's what's keeping it. Or the fact that there's a bunch of good northern houses for me to cover. But yeah. Anyways, sorry, I'm thinking about locations right now. I just filmed the location video. The Harvest Feast. Bran receives the Lords of the North at Winterfell for the Harvest Feast. So if you want to know where we are, I want to say Clash of Kings. And Bran is the Lord of Winterfell. And the Lord in Winter, he's a Stark of Winterfell. Stark in Winterfell, he's not the Lord. I guess he kind of is. Because Robb is king. I don't know. So Robb is doing Robb War of Five Kings stuff, right? And Bran is left there, and they have the big harvest feast in the north. So that's where we're at. So let's talk about that. Bran receives the Lords of the North at Winterfell for the harvest feast. Each has business to discuss, many of them discussing Lady Hornwood. Yes, that's important, so I'm talking about it. I'm not going to get into the really sad stuff about Lady Hornwood, but yeah, she's pretty much every single lord wants to talk about Lady Hornwood. The visitors include Wyman Manderly and Lady Danella Hornwood on the first day. Well, there you go. The following day, two of Great John Umber's uncles talk, Morse Umber and Hother Umber, starting in the morning. I covered both of them all in 1 week. I did an Umber week, and they're both great characters. If you've not watched those videos, go check it out. It's one of the few times that I wrote two videos at the exact same time. Like sometimes I am in the middle of writing one and I start writing another and then I like go back and forth. No, like I had two screens up because literally they were talking. One person's talking to the other person, but I'm covering his dialogue for this one, this guy's dialogue here, and I was like writing them at the exact same time. It was actually really fun. All right, anyways, that's the Umbers. Go check out my Umber week. Very underrated. Where was I? Yeah, so they talked the next day, followed us in the morning, and then followed by the steward of Deepwood Mott. The next day, Leobald Tallhart from Torrens Square, who arrived the day before, has his audience. He spoke of the weather, which is nice, and the slack wits of small folk. Hey, that's a little mean. And told how his nephew itched for battle. Hey, that's the nephew we're talking about. Benfred raised his own company of lances, boys, none older than 19 years. But everyone thinks he's another young wolf. When I told him that they were only young rabbits, they laughed. They laughed at me. Now they call themselves Wild Hares and gallop about the country with rabbitskins tied to the ends of their lances, singing songs of chivalry. I like it. Bran remembered Benfred and how he used to visit Winterfell with his father, Helman, and thought that that sounded grand. He's like, well, that sounds great. Sir Roger Cassell was displeased, though. He did not think it sounded great. He tells Leopold, if the king were in need of more men, he would send for them. He said, instruct your nephew that he is to remain at Torrens Square as his lord father commanded. I don't get to read for Roger Cassell much. That was fun. Are you guys the type of people who say Roger Castle? I got yelled at from saying Cassell. I don't know, man. It's all just made up words. It just feels right to say Cassell. I don't know. Maybe you disagree, but I do it. Wild Hares. I will, sir, said Leopold. So yeah, this is the directly after Tormund said or not Tormund, what Tormund? Why did I say Tormund? Roger Cassell said, yeah, just tell them to stay put and hang out in Torrens Square, right? I will, sir, said Leopold, and then they raised the matter of Lady Hornwood, like all the others have, right? Leopold reminds them that his lady wife was a Hornwood, and perhaps his youngest son, Baron, could change his name to Hornwood and be the heir and continue the house. Bran tells him that he'll bring the matter up with King Robb and Lady Hornwood. After Leopold leaves, he agrees that Baron might be a good idea, but Roderick says that he is just a boy, and that might fare well against Ramsay, might not fare well against Ramsay Snow and Moore's Umber and the lady's other suitors. Because, yeah, Ramsay Snow really wants the Hornwood lands, and he ends up getting them. It's really horrific. I'm not talking about it right now. But also, Moore's Umber wants him, and Moore's Umber ain't no pushover either, and he could be a little rough too, right? So they're like, oh, maybe this little kid can be, like that works, but right now there are two people who want the Hornwood that are a little more brutal, and he can't just be a kid who says, I got a right from the king. Like, that's not going to work right now. So later in Winterfell, so we're skipping ahead. The Reeds have now shown up during the Harvest Feast. We're skipping past that. Jojen Reed tells Bran of his green dream of the sea flowing over the walls of Winterfell. He tells Lewin, Bran tells Lewin, but is dismissed. And when Roderick finally returns with a prisoner, Reek, wink, Bran tells him about the green dream. Maester Lewin tells Roderick that he has explained to Bran the uncertainty of these prophecies, but then notes that raiders in Longshits have been plundering and ravishing along the Stony Shore. As Castellan of Torrens Square, Benfred's uncle Leopold sends Benfred and his Wild Hares to deal with the Ironborn. Uh-oh. Lewin expects the Ironborn will take to their ships and flee at the first sight of armed men. You want to see how that goes? Let's see how that goes. The Stony Shore. All but Benfred are killed in battle. Yeah, they didn't. The Iron Men didn't run away, did they? Although Theon hoped to question Benfred, Yeah, and as the leader of the Wild Hares, the wounded Benfred refuses to answer any questions, and he spits on Theone. Theone wiped the spittle from his cheek with the back of his hand as Benfred Tallhart screamed at him, "Robb will gut you, Theone," or just Greyjoy. "Robb will gut you, Greyjoy. He'll feed your turncloak heart to his wolf, you piece of sheep dung." God, I love Benfred. Aaron Damphair tells Theone that he must kill him for that. Theone tells his uncle that he has questions first. Benfred hung bleeding, helpless between the Ironborn Raiders, Stig and Weirleg, and said, all right, I'll just say, we're far enough in the video. Fuck your questions. I'll choke on them and before you get any answers from me, Craven. Turncloak. Right. Benfred's going all out. So yeah, I skipped over it because this is exactly how it is in the book. Theon's chapter starts and we're already in the middle. He's wiping blood off his face or spit off his face, and Benfred's held between two guys. So yeah, let's fill in the gaps, right? Theobald's like, all right, I'll send Benfred to go and take care of the Ironborn over at the Stony Shore. He'll scare him away. And yeah, everybody died except for Benfred. And the only reason Benfred was spared is because Theone wanted to question him. So yeah, the Wild Hares didn't go very far, is all I'm saying. Yeah, where was I? He called him a turncloak. Damphair tells him that if he spits on Theone, he spits on all of them and the drowned god, and he must die. Theone tells his uncle that his father gave him command, but Aaron answers back that he was sent to counsel him. He's like, hey, I'm in command. Yeah, and I'm here to tell you what to do. Benfred continues, you'll lose your head for this, Greyjoy. The crows will eat the jelly of your eyes. Wow, Benfred. Benfred tries to spit again, but only managed a little bit of blood. The others bugger your wet god. I love it. Your wet god. Yeah, the others bugger your wet god. Oh my god. He finished. Theone commands Stig to silence him, and they force Benfred to his knees, and Weirleg tore the rabbit skin off his belt and jammed it between his teeth to stop his shouting. Stig readied his axe. Oh, man, that's so brutal. All right, let's keep going, guys. Given to the drowned god, the Damphair stops them and tells Theone that he must be given to the drowned god. Theone tells him to take him then. But Aaron claims that since he commands here, he need come with. It was more than Theone could stomach and tells his uncle that he leaves the god to him. Like, no, you're the priest. You go drown this guy and yourself. And he should have leave the battles to Theone. He waved his hand and Weirleg, I don't know, it's a horrible name, and a Stig began to drag their captive off towards the shore. Aaron Damphair gave his nephew a reproachful look, then followed. They go down. This is what I messed up. They go down to the Pebble Beach and drown Benfred Tallhart in the salt water the old way. Hey, I get to play this.
Poochie's dead.
Yeah, that's. I love Benfred Tallhart. Scene 1, I cover somebody else talking about him. Scene 2, Benfred's here. What's happening? He's about to die. That's it. I don't actually get to cover any scenes before his death that he's actually there for. Rough, man. Man. All right, where was I? He goes to drown him the old way. Theone walked the other direction and thought about how Stig was not the most expert headsman, and Benfred had a thick neck as a boar's, a neck thick as a boar's, heavy with muscle and fat. This dude just got a big neck, man. Then he remembers how he used to mock him for it. Hey, big neck. How do you mock somebody for having a big neck? Hey, how's your turning? Like, what do you... Yeah, but necklaces suck for you. Like, it's just a big neck. I don't understand how that's mockery. Like, how do you make fun of Hey, you're weird looking. All right, maybe that works. So yeah. Then he remembers how he used to mock him for it just to see how angry he could get. Well, you got him pretty angry this time. Back when he visited Torrhen Square for a fortnight with Eddard Stark. After shooting his own man in the belly for not listening. So now I'm skipping ahead. So he shoots this dude in the belly for not listening to him. Theon kicked at Benfred's fallen banner and clutched the dead in dead hand of a squire who bore. Kicked the fallen banner that was clutched in the dead hand of a squire who borne it. The rabbit skin had been tied below the flag. Theon remembers coming across the Wild Hares, having the leader brought to him, only he had not expected it to be Benfred Tallhart. Later, Theon talks to Dagmere into attacking Torrhen Square as Theon himself attacks Winterfell. There you go. That's really bright. One sec. Let's get to this one. I'm just fighting sunlight today. The Dead Rabbit. So yeah, that's it. That's all we got for that story. For the story. So now we're gonna get to my little end thing here. The Dead Rabbits. Thank you to Movie Fan for the request. Very small character, but very cool. I like the Wild Hares idea. That the young wolf Robb has inspired other young lordlings and fighters to band together. It's all in vain when they actually go to fight. They just get destroyed. I also think about the Dead Rabbits gang from the Gangs of New York. When I picture these guys with the rabbit furs, of course, no other connections. The Wild Hares and the Dead Rabbits from Gangs of New York. I can't think of any other parallels besides just the fact they got like rabbit furs, but yeah. And lastly, his death inspires Roderick Cassell's death in the show. Since Theon is forced to cut his head off when he spits on him, and then he fails beheading him in the show, is super brutal, and the drowning is pretty rough too. So yeah, they kind of break up, add a lot of characters into Roderick's character in the show. And one of them, the spitting on, he spit on you, so you have to kill him. That's from Benfred, not Roderick Cassell, right? No real theories for this guy since the first scene we actually see him in, he dies in, but still a cool little character. So that's all I got. Thank you for the request. Thank you for watching. And yeah, what do you guys think? Benfred Tallhart, Wild Hares. Didn't go well. Didn't go well for him. All right. Peace.